I'm Janet Kurtz, Editor-in-Chief of InFocus.
And I'm Madeline Bradford, the Associate Editor of InFocus. Welcome back to our weekly installment of In Good Company.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. It was such a great week last week. I cannot wait to dive into this. We had the Phillippe Chow opening.
That looked amazing.
We had the Hermès Nashville store opening.
Also amazing.
We had a brand new event. We had Starry Nights, which was the patrons party for the Branching Out fashion show for the Horticultural Society of Middle Tennessee. And you had authors in the round.
Oh, I cannot wait to dive into that. That was maybe one of my favorite events I've covered this year, just because I'm such a book nerd and I felt like I was really with my people that night.
Perfect. I know. That is one, just so that the audience at home knows, we often fight over in the office. So
Janet was very generous and let me cover it this year. I appreciated that.
Happy to do it. You needed to experience it because it is just such a wonderful event.
Absolutely.
Well, perfect. Let's just dive in. The Phillippe Chow opening. We now have a Phillippe Chow here in Nashville. He is a renowned chef worldwide, but opened his kind of Beijing style restaurants in New York and has opened them throughout the country and finally brought one here. Now I have to tell you, I'm going to tell a little story on myself. I walked in and there were these servers in crisp white dinner jackets. They looked fabulous. They were holding trays of fabulous cocktails. And one of them was this gorgeous white milky martini with this fruit on top. And I thought, which they don't look similar at all, but I thought, well, how kind of them. They've thought through the Southern aesthetic and they have a pawpaw martini. And pawpaws, you know, are that wonderful like cake battery fruit that you can only get certain times of year, which is not right now. And
so it wasn't a pawpaw martini.
It was not at all a pawpaw martini. And when I said, oh, look at these pawpaws that you have, and you said, well, this is actually a lychee martini.
And that makes a lot more sense.
So much more sense.
It's very fitting.
Yes, it is. It was. So shame on me, but the lychee martinis are actually super popular at their New York location. This spot is absolutely spectacular. They have private dining room that can seat up to 70 people, if you can believe that. That's huge. And then they have these other little moments that are really sweet, like a space for a DJ to play on the weekends. And then, of course, this beautiful bar. The interiors are gorgeous. And then, of course, the table-carved Peking duck. Absolutely outstanding.
I'm just so jealous.
And Phillippe Chow was there himself.
Wow.
Carving the duck, and then he gave these wonderful little tastes of the duck, and it was just absolutely spectacular. So I cannot wait to go back for dinner, and you've got to try it too.
I need to try it.
Yes.
I was like seething with envy when I was seeing your videos. I was like, oh, that looks amazing. I was out of town.
I know. That's what
wish I
happens
could have
when
been
you go
there.
on vacation.
I know.
I know.
Well, tell me about Hermès.
Yes. Well, before we go with Hermès, let's talk about Starry Night, because this is another fashion event that or was leading up to a fashion event. So Starry Night was an event that was a new event. We love new events here at InFocus. It was the patrons party for the Branching Out fashion show that would happen later in the week. And everybody gathered at Cheekwood. The weather could not have been more perfect. So everybody was out on the color garden before they went inside. And everybody had cocktails or champagne, and it was just like a fun night to visit. Everyone looked their best. And then Dillard's was there as one of the partners, and they had displays there. So people actually were shopping. So that was fun, or getting ideas for gifts.
For sure.
You know, they had a wide display there. So it was really wonderful. And then everyone sat down to dinner, and they enjoyed that. Debbie Pitts is really championing this initiative. So the Horticultural Society of Middle Tennessee created this event and then the Branching Out fashion show as a way to support an initiative that will plant 500,000 trees in Middle Tennessee by 2050. After dinner, there was a live auction, and you know Danielle Breezy. You interviewed her.
I do.
And she's so much fun. Well, her husband, Joe, brings just the same amount of energy.
Yes.
So who better than to run the live auction?
Oh, that's
than those two, right?
They are both so lively, and like they walk into a room, instantly bring this fun energy.
Oh my gosh.
So great to see.
Yes. So very successful. So that was really just a wonderful thing to see. And so that was leading up to the Branching Out fashion show. But in between that, we had a special opening. And I'm here to tell you that Hermès knows how to throw a party.
Oh yeah. So
I mean,
tell us everything.
Yeah,
Give us all the details.
I know. Well, we weren't really sure. It was cloaked in a lot of secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really fun because they had these surprise and delights that happened throughout the evening. So as guests arrived, of course, we were greeted with champagne. That was spectacular. The CEO for the Americas was there, as well as one of the family members. It's a 6th generation family-owned business. You know, they started making horse tack, you know, bridles and harnesses and things like that with really superior quality. And they kept that sort of in mind as they continued through the generations. So each generation has really added their own touch, whether it's the Birkin bags, the Kelly bags, different jewelry, you know, they have fragrances, they have items for the home. All of that was there. And the beauty of this store is that it's actually a 2-story store. So
oh, wow.
You have so much to explore, whether it's the men's and women's ready to wear, of course, the scarves. They actually made a Nashville scarf, Nashville specific scarf.
Oh, wow.
So that was wonderful. And then they had these beautiful bangles, of course, that everybody loves. And you see adorning the wrists of many ladies here in Nashville.
Yes.
And then we actually got on shuttles and went to this unique location. I saw Ben Goldberg of Strategic Hospitality there, and he said, you would not believe that 30 days ago, this was an empty warehouse. Because when you walked in, it was warm and inviting with brick walls everywhere or artistic walls, and these special little moments that were like little salons almost. And so you had, everybody was just mingling. There were over 500 guests there, 550 guests there.
Oh my goodness.
It was huge. Then they had a wall that disappeared and opened up, and that was the dining room. And so everyone was seated at what looked like, you know, a record. Essentially, they were these curved tables that made circles throughout, and there was a stage in the center. And as we were seated, we had dinner, we had this beautiful family-style dinner, and then the special guest came out, and
who was it?
It was Jack White.
Oh,
I know.
So good.
Such a champion for Nashville, as he has been, but that was really a special way to end the night. It was so much fun. And then this Saturday, the store opened, and there were lines out the door, obviously.
I saw the lines.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to be busy for a while.
They are going to be very busy. So it was really spectacular. No detail was left unattended.
Well, that sounds like an incredible evening.
It really was. Really, really was. Now, after that, you came back from vacation and went right to Authors in the Round. So
Yes,
tell
I
us
did.
about that. I'm excited to hear about that.
Oh, there are so many things I could say about Authors in the Round. So first of all, it of course kicks off the Southern Festival of Books, which has been such a pivotal festival for the Nashville community for over 3 decades.
Yeah.
It's a free festival to the public. There are all kinds of book tents, and you really get to meet the authors one-on-one and have that really special experience with them.
Yes.
And the Authors in the Round fundraising dinner helps make all of that possible. So it's the Friday night before the festival kicks off on Saturday, and you're seated with 40 of the over 175 authors represented at the festival. So each author's at a different table, and you get to share a meal with them and also share a conversation and learn about their stories and their careers and their books. And you also just get to meet a lot of creative people who are also into books, which I really enjoyed.
Yes.
This year, Joyce Carol Oates was one of the represented authors, and I did get to meet her very briefly.
What?
I know.
Oh.
I was fangirling.
Yes. As you should.
Yes.
As we all should.
And she was in the front of the room, as she should be.
Yes.
But that was amazing. I also ran into Ann Patchett and her team from Parnassus Books, because they did such an incredible job fundraising for the festival. Amid funding cuts, there was uncertainty as to whether or not this festival would be able to continue this year. And I did some coverage in In Focus about that and talked with Tim Henderson of Humanities for Tennessee, which was really great. But Parnassus especially, and Ann Patchett had this wonderful fundraising campaign that helped garner so much support for the festival. The co-chairs Alice Randall and Caroline Randall Williams really emphasized the support from the community and celebrated the written word. There was also a fun theme, kind of going off of the whole theme of the evening, everyone wore black and white to look like typeface inside of a book.
Oh, fun.
So the co-chairs really emphasized that they wanted the guests to be the decorations.
Yes. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We'll plan to figure out who's going to cover it next year.
We'll discuss.
Yeah, we'll discuss. And then, yeah, Saturday, I had an afternoon event, which is a little unusual for Saturdays, but this was so much fun. And again, really supported the initiative for the Horticultural Society of Middle Tennessee. And this was the Branching Out Fashion Show. And the beauty of this fashion show, again, partnering with Dillard's, they had people from our community. So, you know, our friend Bentley Caldwell was there, Rel Enoch was there as one of the models, you know, so they had people who maybe were not professional runway models, they were us. And it was great to see that because you could see really different ways that clothes could be worn and outfits could be interpreted. And so that was really wonderful. They even had little children that walked the runway with their parents. It was very cute. And kudos to those parents because they had those kids like just really into it and having fun. And, you know, they were little children. So that was really great. And then after the fashion show, there was a group that went inside Dillard's where Dillard's had actually moved some of their displays and created an afternoon tea party. Then we had these wonderful little tea sandwiches and cookies and scones, and everybody was just visiting and having such a good time. There was definitely shopping going on.
Of course.
You know, and all for the cause of raising money to plant 500,000 trees across Middle Tennessee by 2050. And that is such an incredible gift to the community. It's something that will provide generations of shade and, you know, beautification of communities and things like that. So I really was just honored to be there. And again, we love a new party, so that was a lot of fun.
And tell us about next week. We've got a lot of other fun things coming up too.
Yes, we have so much going. I'm really excited about it. Of course, we're getting together with some friends at the shops at Bal Harbor, which are coming kind of close to the end of this pop-up. So people are going to want to experience that soon. Oz Arts, you're going to Le Grand Ball, which I cannot wait to hear about that.
I'm excited to tell you about it.
Yes. That same night, I'll be at Art Eclectic at University School of Nashville. You are covering Comedy for a Cause. I'm doing Once in a Blue Moon. You're going to Gilda's Club, and then I'm going to Sunday in the Park.
Exactly.
So just a few things this week that we'll be covering. We go to press this week, so that means that next Thursday, our November issue comes out. We've been working hard for this. Do you know that we have 17 parties that we covered just in the print issue alone? So it's been a busy month.
It's going to be a great issue.
It's going to be a fantastic issue, all about entertaining. So be sure to pick up our new copies once they're out. Be sure to pick up your October issues now because those will be going away soon. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get all of the fun events coming in the next week. And remember that with you, our In Focus friends, we're in good company.
Cheers.
Cheers.